Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Talk. Yeah. It's one of these. It's one of the ones where I don't have specifically anything to talk about. I'm not going through anything really. Just thought, hey. And this is kind of like our podcast series as well. So as much as me like, I don't know, also, I gotta zit, forgive me for my poor complexion. Yeah, also, the cup that's super overexposed, but believe you me, is great. Our mug, sorry, cup, please. Alright, well that's coming to mind. Why not talk about that? Some video game stuff. If you guys have not played Red Dead Redemption, fix that. It's so, again, it's so good, but it does take time to get into, if that makes any sense. It's one of those games that it's a bit slow at the start. It's a bit like, yeah, this is good, but it's not like, maybe for me. But then it just gets you. It just sinks its teeth into you and you're like, fuck, I am hopelessly into this. Shit. But everything about it, this, I guess, is kind of going to be not a spoilery thing. I think, right now I have not beat the game, but I am worried for everything that I'm kind of, like, the game has been doing the same thing that Red Dead 1 did, Red Dead Redemption, sorry, where it's kind of foreshadowing of a deeper meaning, kinda. Like, basically, the main character right now, for me in my story, which I'm at chapter 3, just starting, a current thing that's been being said the entire time you're playing, by the main character, is that he feels like the West is outgrowing him. So, like, bandits and outlaws and, like, cowboys are kind of becoming away, like, they're leaving from society's norm and acceptance. To where he feels like he doesn't really have a place, and in a sense he doesn't. Kind of sad, but he doesn't, because the world is being pushed into the age of peace and law and order to a certain extent. And he's kind of just an old-fashioned cowboy who's kind of just starting to dwindle away. And it kind of feels like the world's, like he could not be a part of that world, you know what I mean? Like he can't, who he is like this person that killed people, and that took a toll, and etc. There's like this bunch of shit that's clearly taken, almost sounds like a piece of his soul, to where he couldn't just easily jump in to like the other side, you know? Which is really interesting and nice and endearing, because he knows that he's like kind of a broken human. Would he fit as a piece into the new society? And the way it makes it sound is he doesn't think he is, and I don't think he is either. I feel like we're probably going to get another Red Dead 1 ending where it's like, yeah, he dies somehow. And it's like, God, come on, man. Come on. Again? Like, I get you're trying to be this way about it, but still, it's frustrating. Especially when it's one of those things where it is clearly a game which is very much narrative, and you're still, like, being taken along on this ride. And yeah, you're able to interact with certain things, but it'd just be interesting for them to, I don't know, you have a choice in the game, you know? So it'd be cool if you could, like, choose, and if you end the game and you buy like a fucking badass ranch or house or something like that. I mean, it was just like John Marston, I guess, so he died too, and even though he did almost all the right things. I don't know, man, it's a good game, it makes you think, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I hope he comes out of it okay, because at least the character I'm playing, he's brash, but he's still a good person. And again, like I mentioned this in the Red Dead videos, but he's very interesting as a character, because he to me, he's the epitome of what I believe karma kind of is, which is you are made by the circumstance that you are in to a certain extent. So, like, as much as he is a cowboy and outlaw, and he's been born into this, he grew up with outlaws and etc. And his father figure, his friends, etc. are all outlaws, so he's kind of pushed into this. He still is a good person despite that, or you can be despite that. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have the other things that come with that. You know what I mean? Like the baggage that come with that. You know, he's okay with killing, more or less. He talks sometimes is a bit grumpy and a bit mad, but at the end of the day, he'll still like extend the olive branch and help someone and etc. And he has these moments, or no, even in the story, like forcibly, where he's like, he does not want to cause mayhem or do harm. And maybe if you start playing like Bad Karma, that might change, although I think that's a concurrent thing. Because I think that's supposed to cement that, like him dying is the introduction into a new age that the world is taking. But I have no idea if he dies, and I hope that's not a spoiler. This is me just speculating. You know, figure me just not having played the game, and same amount of speculation would happen. What? Speculation? You get what I mean. To me, the one thing that I wish Red Dead, that was in Red Dead, that was in every other video game, is the random events. They're like, they make the game feel so... I feel like there's never a moment where it dips for me, and that's rare. Like, because you know, you play video games for so long, eventually you finally find this lull where it's like, hey, find 10 umpteenth things to make this thing, or to get this weapon in Let It Die's case, or to, you know, complete this challenge, to maybe get access to a car or something in GTA's case. Yeah, it's like there's those things which you eventually find, and you're like, all right, full throttle, push through it, and you're fine, but you're still feeling that. But in Red Dead, because there are these random events throughout the world space, you'll be riding your horse, and then boom, this thing will happen where maybe you're just going about your business, and then you get like jumped by people being like, you gotta pay a tax to pass this road, track, whatever, like place for your horse to go, and you have 3 people that like approach you, and you can either choose to give the money, defuse the situation, or fucking slow down time, dead eye everyone in the head, boom, fire, and everyone dies, and you're like, done. And then you go about your business, which to me is such a cool thing. And it doesn't even have to be that dynamic where you have like 10 different choices, but these just random events that can queue up at any point. And they could be attached to karma if it's in another video game, or in Red Dead's case, I think some of them are. But yeah, or like again, I'm like, alright, I'm going hunting for the umpteenth time. Boom boom, killing animals, just skin him, that's a bit annoying. I do think that's a bit annoying. Anyways, put it on my horse, start going, and then I see this person like cleaning out his horse's hoof, whatever it is. And then I'm just like, sup dude? Because I see that it's a special event, and then the dude gets fucking chopped in the neck and killed by his own horse because he spooked his horse. And then your character's just kind of like, and to me it just sparks life into the game, and it becomes this wildfire of like, I can't wait. Every interaction in this world is full impact interaction, and it feels so good. And I hope so dearly that GTA Online is going to have similar things like that. Maybe not to that degree, but maybe like for Halloween, there are these special random event Halloween things. Like, oh, you'll meet the Dutchman or something. Well, not the Dutchman, goddamn, the Headless Horseman on Halloween. While you're rolling around, you'll see him in the distance, and that's the event. Who knows? Maybe you talk to him. Who knows? Maybe you see Ichabod Crane or whatever his name is. You know, like if they add these random events that can take place whilst you are playing online. Because GTA Online is where I very much feel like the game is made for. Like, for instance, in the game, there is food which you can eat and you get fat, which is weird unless that was like massively impacted on a character that you can roleplay as. Like, I want to be this fat gunslinger dude, and you just eat a bunch of food, and you're just like swollen beast that also has more health and less stamina. Or you can be this skinny as shit dude who has less health but more stamina. It weighs in that way. Also, you can have a giant beard that grows over the course, so you have to trim your beard before you go and do certain missions. If you're hanging out or waiting with your friends, you can be like, all right, well, we're waiting for X, Y, and Z to get ready to join our party. I'm gonna go cut my beard, or get a haircut, or put some grease in my hair to slick it back and make it look all Western. I'm gonna go repair my guns. Give me a sec, and boom, bam. Like, there are all these things that are specifically made in a very clever way to be like online things, especially in the downtime, which oftentimes is in online sittings with your friends. And it's interesting, very interesting, that like the mechanics there are very that. Yeah. Long-winded conversation over. The game looks fantastic, and the game is fantastic, and if you haven't played it, you should definitely give it a whirl. And on PS4 with just like the not PS Pro or the Xbox whatever, it's great. It doesn't look bad, it looks great. I can't even imagine what it's gonna look like on PC. There's so many things that are just good about the game. so good. I would highly advise playing it if you haven't already. Then again, if you didn't like it, completely understand. It's probably not a game for everyone, but God, do I love it. So much so that I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, I don't want to play anymore because I don't want it to end because I'm a freak like that. I don't know, man. It's always in my head. I don't want I don't want a good thing to end, so if I just leave it then the story's never over. And that's just fucked up. It's a horrible way of thinking, but still. The mental part of the let's talk aspect of the thing. Before that, just a quick thing I want to talk about. Just an experience that I went through. So basically, you guys know how I got into airsoft, right? Because my brother brought it up, and then yada yada yada. I bought a gun. I was super into it. Still kind of am. But my brother had his birthday, and for his birthday, we went out to this special airsoft place that we can actually play. Now, unfortunately, we got there and it was busy, so everyone was there. I have two brothers. They were both there, with a bunch of people that we didn't know hurling plastic at us, which is probably just the norm in airsoft. You know, you gotta break that tension, I guess. So we rented some weapons, put on some gear. It smelled bad. Anyways, we get in there. We're fighting. We're ready to go. We have our guns in hand, and we're like, it's like an indoor thing because it's Canada and it's freezing right now, so it's indoor. Got a bunch of plywood everywhere. It's pretty great. But two things. One, I had like chili the night before, and it was bad, guys. I don't want to be gross, but it was not great. It was like stomach pains, cramping, whilst you're trying to like get in a tiny position or peek around a corner. And yeah, my guts were in horrible condition. I didn't want to rip ass in the middle of a thing, okay? That's what I'm saying. I am sorry. But that's not the bad part. Also, I'm the kind of person that wants to like prepare before I do things. Like I want to make sure I'm like, okay, we're gonna make this happen. I'm ready. Let's go. And then I do it. And then we see it through no matter what. But when I'm thrown in the direction of something, I don't do well. Not that I don't do well, I get mad. Like I don't like that someone's choosing something for me. So we decided on this last minute, so I didn't even have the opportunity to get hit with my own airsoft bullet and feel the pain of it. So that was annoying as well. I was like, oh great, this is gonna hurt a lot. I wish I had more time to prepare for this. And again, you guys know this, if I watch my Let Die content, that's me tenfold. I'm always like, I want to prepare in every way that I can, but when we do it, dude, we're fucking there. 100%. All in kind of thing. Anyways, in this instance, I very much wasn't, which was not great. Which was not great because with the combination of my guts being in a bad place, because of the chili I ate the night before, and me mentally not being there, not being ready and prepared and like, yes, we're doing this. It was more like an obligation that I had to see through, which I love hanging with my brothers. So just say that. It wasn't that the case. It was just the case that it was like you're doing something that's pretty fucking up on the totem pole in terms of fear and an experience, you know, from an introvert. It's a big deal to jump into a decently small room full of people to shoot a gun at other people with airsoft bullets. Anyways, point being, we got there. I'm dying. My guts are all over the place. I hate it. I got like 3 kills, I guess, in like an hour span, which wasn't bad, apparently, because everyone's fucking hiding because no one wants to get hit by a fucking airsoft bullet. But I did have one hiccup because for whatever reason, the place that we went to doesn't have like pennies. To me would make sense. Like you'd wear a penny to show you're on that side and that side, but instead they just had like armbands, which don't make any sense because if a dude's hiding or like hiding behind a corner and you flank him and you aim at him and you see, like that's what happened to me exactly. I pushed in. I wanted to see if the dude was there. There was a person there, but I was like, I guess he's on my team. So I was like, okay, clearly not a person. But then I went back to check, and I think the way I peeked the corner, he was able to see my entire body. So I went like this because I don't want to readjust my aim. So I just went like that. And he was able to see both of my shoulders. And then he turned to me, and when he turned to me, I seen he had a band on. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I could have shot the dude immediately. Like, I breached the corner, I seen him, I could have bipped him, but I didn't see that he was fucking, had a band on his arm. And it's so much easier for them than us. I have to look for a smidge of color on your arm where you can just see if a person doesn't have any color on them, bip. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Just wear a fucking penny. I don't understand. It's frustrating. And of course I died because he turned and shot me. Anyways, the other thing that ruined the experience a little bit, and I think that's why I'll be like, I'm tempered a bit by it, you get hit. And you guys may be like, oh, you weren't ready. No, I got hit and it was fine. That was the thing that was surprising. I was like, oh, okay. You know, you can feel it, but it's not like the worst. Now, for those guys who do not know about airsoft, there is basically a limit. Typically, when you're playing indoors, that you need to have a less powerful spring, because if you have a high-powered spring, it's going to hurt like crazy if you're point blank and you get shot with it. It could pierce the skin and all that bad stuff. And most airsoft things say we have a thing above the store or like the place, and it says, hey, all weapons will be checked before you come in and play, so don't worry, you're never going to be fighting a weapon that's like hot, is what they call it, hot. And oh my god, dude, I would bet my goddamn beard, because it's important to me, all right? I don't like betting anything, but I was for sure that some dude, some asshat was rocking a fucking high-powered weapon. Like, it was different. I couldn't explain that enough to you guys. Where, like, I got hit, and I got riddled a couple times. And I was like, oh, okay. Again, it was like, that was it. But then there was this other time, and I got hit right here, where it hit the bone here, which is just bad. That's going to be painful. But then it hit all the way over here. And I was like, okay. No, that's different. That's different. That was a different kind of pain entirely. And I practice Iron Bone. I'm pretty okay with like feeling physical pain. And yeah, it was fucking not good. It was like to the point where I was like, and it stayed with you like a pierce, like a stab kind of thing. And I was like, oh my god, okay. And I went, and again, I'm trying to move past it, like, okay, whatever, it hurts like hell, keep going. Same thing you do with Iron Bone. Anyways, so I did that. I went to like the reset point, because that's how it works. You die, you reset, and you go back in. But yeah, the whole time I was like, okay, that was weird. And then of course, it makes you super afraid to like do anything, because you're trying to feel that you're feeling that pain. You're like, I don't want to get that again. That's fucking terrible. And then again, I got hit again in the arm a couple times. I was like, yeah, see, that was not even close to the same as that. It's way different. I was like, okay, that's okay, I guess. And then I just came to the conclusion, okay, I think some dude's going hard. Like some dude had a hot weapon, that with like a very powerful spring. Another thing to note is that when he went in there, none of the weapons got checked. So I think how it works is if you do feel like someone's rocking a weapon that's pretty hot, you're supposed to mention it, and then they'll go and look at the person's thing, but they don't check it beforehand. So, especially if I think you're a regular there, I don't think they'll check it. Anyways, so then I was playing again, it was kind of fun again. The cramps in my stomach fucked with the whole experience to where like I was feeling pain from my stomach, and I wasn't able to crouch really well and shit like that, and I was getting riddled. Anyways, I was hiding behind something, and then again, same thing. I every now and again you get hit. I think I got down 5 times, and again, there was a difference, an utter difference from like all the other times. The time I got hit here, utterly different, and then the dude got me right in the ribs, or not even the ribs, it was like the right boob, I guess, and then the ribs. And I was wearing like a pretty decent jacket, like I was wearing like a trench coat thing. It was pretty dense, like cotton fluff kind of sewn thing. And again, I was like, oh, there it is again, that same exact pain threshold, boom. And I was like, that fucking asshole. Like, what a douche. Like, and everyone knows you're not supposed to do that. Everyone knows you're not supposed to bring in a higher caliber of thing. The reason why you would, if you're a little scumbag douche, is because it helps with your aim or your accuracy. Because if you have a high-powered spring, it's going to be going that much more straight and that much more fast to its destination. Or if you have a little bit less of power, it's going to have a little bit less speed and all that other shit. Also, I imagine it's also a person being lazy, like being like, I don't want to have to pay to get the spring removed, or I bought this new weapon and I can't remove the spring, so I guess I'll just have to test my luck. And it's like, fucking cunt, just ass. It ruins the experience when you're getting lit up by something that is fucking not allowed that close. But if you're outside, that's full game, because you're assuming that you're a lot longer ranges, so you're gonna need that more accuracy and that more distance traveled. So it makes sense. Anyways, we could summarize all this by saying that my first experience in airsoft was less than great. It was fun with my brothers. They kind of made it less shit. But yeah, my brother was the same way. He was like, yeah, I got hit with something, and it was bad. And my brother was an idiot wearing a t-shirt. And he got one right near his tit again. And like me, except I was wearing a trench coat covering most of my chest. And his were just wearing a t-shirt. He had like a red mark, like a broke skin basically. And yeah, and he was the same way where he was like, yeah, no, there was like a difference when this happened, like when that happened. You know, there was a different, and it wasn't like, oh, I got hit from every other angle. No, it was like, I got hit, fine. I got hit, fine. I got hit by this specific, like, 3-round burst. Fuck me dead. It hurt like shit. Difference. There's a difference, please. Anyways, so that was my airsoft experience. Ugh, cracking up. No, but yes, I still probably get back into airsoft, but for right now, it's winter anyway. I'll probably wait until I have pads, not pads, like an ammo clip and have money. It's also a huge part about airsoft is you're trying to like redistribute shit properly and all those things. I shouldn't say I had no fun though. It was somewhat enjoyable. The people were nice outside of the D-bag who had the power weapon, whatever it was, the high-powered weapon. But yes, the combination of my guts being all messed up and the douchebag running hot with the weapon and me not having the mental, me not being prepared to do it, like me not being like, all right, I want to do this, let's go. Just being like, you're roped into this, you have to go. And I'm like, ah, fuck. And again, that's not to say that I don't like hanging out with my brothers, but it's still something I want to get into, and it was something definitely to get out of your comfort zone. Back to the mental psyche thing, the mental part of the Let's Talk. A little update for you guys with me, the therapy of Let's Talk, if you will. I think I talked about this, but YouTube is a series of, not YouTube, me, I should say, not YouTube. And I don't think I'm bipolar by any means, but although I don't think people who are bipolar think they're bipolar. But anyways, I don't think it's that severe. But there are definitely moments when I'm like, man, I'm just having a real good week. Like, or not good week, I'm just kind of happy. I don't know how to explain it. Something's right in my head, something feels good, whatever it is. But this week has not been that. This week has been that shadow kind of cast over me kind of thing. I'm not like mega depressed or anything like that. I just feel like the lack of oomph. And I'm wondering if it's either I'm sick or I think it's just a part of life, I think. Where some days you feel great, and other days not so much. Other days you feel like hollow. Like hollow is a good way to describe it, I feel. And forgive me if that's freaked out, or if you guys are freaked out. I'm okay. I'm happy, and we're good. But I just noticed this week I don't have as much oomph as I did the previous weeks. And it's something that I always know. Like, I know it's gonna happen. I know it's a thing with me. Where some weeks you're just like, all right. And it's kind of like, you don't feel, I guess, yeah, motivation, I guess is a good word to put it. But I also think that with me, unless I want to explain all of what my current situation is, which I don't really want to. I mean, it's not that bad. It's just, it's not like a hard thing to explain is what I'm trying to say. Basically, my job is more or less, what do you call it? It's whenever they have work, I get pulled in. And sometimes there's a lot of work, and other times there's not. But that also leads there to not being any sort of like regularity or consistency. So it's not like I could come up with a system how to manage stuff with the time that I have allotted, because some days I have a decent amount of time, other days I don't have that much at all. I still want to keep up with the other things that I enjoy, like exercising and etc. I exercise for like 4 hours and etc. So I don't want to lose that. I also don't want to not interact with you guys on the weekends with our streams, because our streams are actually great. I have a ton of fun that way. I don't want to also less up on videos. But yeah, like honestly, it's immensely easy to manage everything when you are motivated and when you are fucking wanting to create things. You know what I mean? And I guess that's kind of what YouTube is, at least for me. Like it's like you are a creator. You create something every day. Now, whether you create something every day is limiting because you have to have something every day is maybe what the quality over quantity kind of thing comes in. But anyways, yeah, there are some weeks when it's just nothing. It's like, it's boom, done immediately. I have things that I want to do until I die or whatever. I'm inspired in that situation that I want to either bring a guide to you guys or I want to do other things. And then there are other weeks that you just feel hollow. You feel like you're a husk. You're like, you're not there. You're not like, every bit of kindling is just burnt out. And I think that was one of the things that was, I don't know where I heard it, but I thought it was real great. Especially for like, I'm a bit excessive. I should say that. I'm a bit excessive. Like I tend, my brother has a saying, which I kind of agree with, which is anything worth doing is worth overdoing. I kind of have a different one, which is, I think that anything I think the one thing to like the core foundation of my character, because I talked to you guys about this beforehand in previous Let's Talks, but like in the pursuit to answer the question, who are you? You should first change the question to who do you want to become? And then of course you come up with the person that you want, whether it be a person that's mannered, a person that's funny, a person that's attractive, a person that is kind, a person that is whatever. The one thing that I arrived at that is my core value, for me at least, is I never want to not try. I never want to not try my absolute hardest. I think it had to do with when I was in school. Because for those guys who don't know, I was, when I was like in, I always had trouble with school, and then later on I found out that my brain just isn't quite the same, I guess. They had me do a test, and it found out that my memory retention was terrible. And my comprehension was okay, but only with certain things. And I know that's shitty to have, like, even say that. Selective learning, yeah, sure, everyone doesn't want to learn things that are boring. There's certain things with patterns that were really hard for me. Anyways, I was always in the classes that were people with learning disabilities, people who were kind of tossed aside and or given appropriate help to help you learn better. Yada yada yada. Basically, I was always in classes where people, like the learning disability classes or whatever they're called. And yeah, it made me mad. It made me very mad whenever I was in there. Not because I didn't know how to learn really well and I was in there, because of the people. And again, I try not to judge people, and I'm just to preface that, but yeah, a lot of the people that are in those classes don't need to be at all. They're just lazy. They're lazy people that don't do anything. They decide to, you know, I don't know, at the time I think it was just people who like didn't want to be there, and of course the teacher spent half the time talking to them, trying to convince them that they should be there, not paying attention to the people that actually wanted to work. And they were more concerned with like playing video games and smoking weed than actually trying. And then there's little old me in the corner just fucking fuming because I'm like, you fucking selfish cunt. You were given a brain that can learn and memorize things quite good, but yet you're shitting it away. And I shouldn't say that because everyone's situation is different. Maybe it was something at his house, at home that was fucking with him. I should bring empathy to them and not still be mad about it. But regardless, what that did to me was make me furious with people like that, to where I wanted to be the reverse opposite. Also, there was those things in school, like certain instances that drove me nuts. Like if you guys have ever been behind like a group of like the popular / just people that kind of stayed together, I suppose, that group of kids, and you're trying to like, if there's like a tiny hallway and you're trying to get past them and there's no way to fucking pass them because they simulate a horde, basically like a huge mass of people, and you're having to wait behind them. I think one day I got so annoyed because I was late to class, because they were late to class, because I was trying to get through them and I couldn't because they were in front of me and I was a shy boy who didn't want to push through. One day I was like, fuck this, and I just held my binder book thing out and just pushed right through them. I was like, get the fuck out of my way. And after I did that, it felt so fucking good. And because to me it was like, you can do whatever you're gonna do. You can waste away your life. You can not take this seriously, even though a person who is taking it seriously is still having a very hard time. But even still, fuck you. Fuck you and your shit. You're not gonna stop me from getting to where I want to be, where like what I want to take seriously, and you're not gonna hold me back, basically. Even though you have the luxury of being able to be late and still understanding everything and not having to ask 1,000 questions, whereas I do not. So get the fuck out of my way and let me get what I need to get. Is basically the notion. But that was a core value for me, was no matter what I do, I want to put 100% of my effort into it. Kind of like anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Not really in that sense. I don't want to have any regrets of me trying and then being like, well, I half-assed it, so what? Like, if you're gonna half-ass it, why even be there? You know, that's another thing. Anyways, why that's important, why that core fundamental value with me is there, is because of those reasons. But it also, it's like a switch that has been permanently locked on, where I find it difficult, and to a degree in which is probably not great, to not do things. So I'm always having to do something. I'm always having to like edit, make thumbnails, learn how to work with editing more, learn how to do this new program, or in my case, more often, I need to make a video Today, for the day after that, I need to be keeping doing that so that if I ever do get pulled into work, I can, you know, go 2 days without making a video because I prepared in advance. Go. And if I don't go and the day starts closing in and I haven't done anything, it creates this like overwhelming feeling of like badness, like super dark, hollow failure, crushing failure. I don't know. I think I do know how that got there. I think it was YouTube and me wanting to improve so badly that I wanted to hit myself every time I didn't do something correctly, which does improve you, but also breaks you in that same way. So yes, if I don't like complete something in a day, or if I don't like edit a video as well as exercise as well as do all these other things, I end the day feeling very hollow and very like unaccomplished and very not good. Depressed, sure. I don't want to go that deep into it. I feel like I've felt that before, and it's not that bad. It's bad, but not that bad. Anyways, the saying that I referred to a couple moments ago was the saying that if a lumberjack, yes, Canadian through and through, if a lumberjack spent his whole day chopping down trees, his axe would eventually get dull. Now, if he keeps continuing to chop down trees with a dull blade, it'll eventually turn blunted, and he'll have to put in twice the effort to have the same reward, then 3 times the effort to have any success cutting down the tree, and then he'll have to exert himself 4 times as much just to be able to bring the damn thing down. When all you need to do is just stop, take a knee, sharpen your axe, and go back to it. After you arrest it from the kneeling down, the sharpening of the axe, and your blade is sharp, you can go back and hit it with that much more ease. I like that saying, but it's difficult for me. Very difficult for me. And I kind of feel like that's what these moments are. Like those moments when you're like you're like, I have nothing left, and I have no like spark. And it's not like a motivation thing. That's also a weird thing, because like I can get shit done, you know what I mean? But it's not like the same thing. It's not the same, like, it's not like I could watch something that makes me uplifted and happy and boom, and now I'm motivated. Now I can get back to doing what it is. It's not quite like that. It's not the same feeling. I know what that feeling is, and it can be compensated with, like, I don't know, watching a Netflix special on like a comedian going to town and making you laugh for 4 hours. You're like, man, I feel good. I feel like I want to make people laugh as well. I've felt that. This isn't it. This is like that lull, that like whoosh, where like it feels like you're broken a little bit, like you're dull, like you're exerted. And again, those guys might be like, well, then just gear down, you know, chill out for a day or two. Yeah, but there's that feeling still. There's still that feeling of like when you end the day and there's nothing there. There's no like check box checked off. I suppose maybe that's the best way to do it, is maybe it's like, it's not that you have to stop doing things, it's just that you have to stop doing that one thing. So maybe instead of like editing videos just because you want to edit videos and do something that day, maybe you should pivot and try to like learn Photoshop, because why not? You know? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in this weird lull where like I'm trying to make Destiny videos, or not Destiny videos, sorry, Let Die videos. Same thing with Red Dead videos, and I'm just kind of like, hey guys, kind of like thing where I'm just like, there's nothing there. Like there's this hollowness to my eyes. There's not like that. I can't even fake it, dude. I can't even like try to, yeah. And I've just recorded a bunch of videos with being on that level. They're a ways off, so I don't think you guys will see them for a little bit. But yeah, I'm hoping they're okay. I'm hoping that my smile is still something. It's not like you guys can see through that and be like, oh, he's probably not entirely there. He's probably pretty like gone. But yeah, it's just kind of like ups and downs, you know. But I think at a core thing, that's good. Like I wouldn't want it any other way, because it's like, again, it's not like motivation. It's not like I can find something motivating and like do it again. It's like a tired thing. It's like that's why I think it may be sick as well. I maybe just be ill, and I'm just like, that's why my brain's not exactly firing in the same way. But if that's not the case and it is just like a mental thing, I kind of am fine with it. You know, the whole notion of like balance. Like, yes, sometimes you'll feel happy, but then other times you'll feel kind of blah and like just empty a little bit. And then maybe after a little bit of time passes, you'll feel good again. And if not, then that's just what it is. You know? I've always wondered if that's a universal thing. I don't think it is, but maybe. The whole notion of like, I've always given myself the best outcome, and then the worst outcome. And then having to find that piece of yourself that is okay with both. And then taking a step forward, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm an introvert and I may die alone if I don't do this, this, and this, and this. Am I comfortable dying alone? Yes. Yes. Alright. And then it goes up, like I'm not sure that's a human thing that's, yeah. You probably should be like, I don't want to die alone. That's terrifying. To me, I'm like, I've always kind of been a loner, you know? Not that I would want to, or I'd prefer that, but just, you know, if it happens, I say that. No one wants to die alone. But in the same sense, to be comfortable with the outcome, I'm not sure if it's a good thing. It's probably a bad thing. Same thing with a lot of things. Like, you could put more things there, and I'd be like, okay, well, whatever. Not to say that I don't want to fight for a better future. That's not at all the case. In fact, that's probably where I'd lean more on. But baby steps for sure. Am I making sense? Probably not. Because this is more my head, not yours. And I'm not doing the best job of explaining myself. But hey, what do you want from me? It's an off week, like I've been saying. Oh. But yeah, the whole turning off thing is, I want to try it. And even though you may feel like, well, I'm talking to me here, even though I might feel despair, great deals of despair, from not accomplishing anything, maybe you'll come back twice as sharp. It's what I'm wanting to say, but it just feels, yeah. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's the same feeling like I have when I got into meditation. I still do it, meditate and whatnot. Except I don't really meditate. I don't do what people say meditating is, which is meditating is trying to clear your mind of all things. To me, I don't think that's human. I don't think, like, even when we dream, we don't. When we're fully relaxed, we're still thinking. In fact, we're probably thinking more, or in a different, more smart way. So to me, I don't think I don't meditate by not thinking of anything. I meditate by thinking of one thing, and then trying to focus on that one thing, whether that be an idea of morality, of, it's gonna sound weird, but the 7 deadly sins, I do that a lot with. I try to think like a sloth. Okay, well, what is that supposed to mean? I don't but I just sit there quietly and think about it. But, hi, yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Because of the nature of videos, and again, like I mentioned in passing, because I work like a kind of a part-time job-ish. It's not a part-time job. It's like a job where you're just getting pulled in. Whenever they got work, bam, in, boom. It makes it so sometimes you have more time, other times you don't. So that leads me to kind of erring on being prepared rather than being creative at certain times within YouTube videos. Like, you guys will notice there hasn't been that many Let's Talks. There hasn't been that many like guides. There hasn't been that many that. It's been like consistent Let It Die parts. Consistent other series like that are tangible and quite accomplishable to make, like Red Dead and etc. There hasn't been like a series where I'm able to like play Warframe for a long time, get to a certain place where I can make a video that really is like 4 or 5 hours in the making, because I only have like 2 hours a day to make something, and I kind of hate that. Not that I don't like have any resentment for like not having that time. And I think it's probably high time that I try something else, because I feel like some days I am like Voss or I'm not like Voss, or I'm doing the same thing over and over again, getting the exact same result. And it's probably time that I just start trying weird things, whatever I want. But again, it sucks when you come to that realization when you're in this headspace that I'm in currently right now, where it's just that like husk feeling of like nothing, energy, nothing. That's the thing, I have energy, but I don't have the like, I want to say motivation, but it's not even motivation, it's something else. It's like tiredness in the mind. Motivation is the closest thing that gets close to what it feels like, but it's not quite there. It's not like, again, it's not like I can watch something inspiring and being like, oh. It's like, it's a mixture of motivation and tiredness, mentally tiredness. I think dullness of the blade is a perfect analogy. Again, like yeah, but that's why I don't want to stop. I'm not gonna stop YouTube. I already prepared videos. I just think for these next 2 days, well, I don't know. Because some days you don't have that luxury of not doing anything. Because again, the nature of the job, you go in whenever you have to go in. And then YouTube, you have to make a video for whatever day that you're maybe lacking. Complicated, man. Still trying to manage chaos. See if we'll ever get there. Hopefully. I think we're getting close. We're getting close. Again, I think this is just one of those weeks. You know, hopefully it swings back around. If not, then, well, okay. We'll just have to deal with it. I'm not gonna leave you guys behind, so don't be worried about that. But, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this rambly Let's Talk. We did it for 46 minutes. Hopefully I cut it down. Yeah. I'm not sure if it made most sense. Again, Let's Talks are mostly a therapy for me. Just talking, trying to find out what the hell my head's thinking. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed my rambling. Subscribe button above me. 2 videos to my right. Thank you so much if you do support the channel. And goodbye.